Okay, so harder completing the square problem. So first thing you want to do is you want to move this thing to the other side. You want that c value on the other side. You're going to get 4x squared plus 10x equals 3. Okay, before we continue any further, what do we do after that move? Yeah, plus blank plus blank, so you don't forget to put that one in there. Okay, after that, what's the next move? Oh, actually, I'll tell you because I haven't taught it to you yet. So the reason why this one is so much harder than the one we did before is because there is a 4 right here. Okay, if there was a 1 right there, it'd be a lot easier. You could start cutting this number in half, squaring it, and putting it right there. But because there's a 4 there, you got to factor it out. Okay, so you're going to pull that 4 out, and you're going to end up with x squared plus something that when you multiply it by 4, it ends up being 10x. Do you know what that is? The easiest way to think about it is, or just remember, is that you just divided by the thing that you pulled out. Okay, so it's going to end up being 10x over 4. Yeah, but just leave it like 10x over 4. Okay, and that's just an easy way of remembering, like knowing how to factor out things that are weird like that. Because when you go back to distribute, you're going to end up with 4 times 10x over 4, and then those are wipe out, and you're back to your 10x. Does that make sense? All right, so pull that out. Okay, so then you're going to get that plus our blank equals 3 plus our blank. Okay, and this is going to be like this. Okay, then what you're going to do is you're going to reduce your fraction. So x squared plus, what is this reduced? 5x over 2. All right, plus blank, and plus this. Okay, you with me? Okay, what's the next move? It has to do with this number right here. So you want to do your b over 2 squared. And so that's your b value right there, right? In fact, I could have made it look more like a b if I would have put the x next to it, like that. Okay, so you get your b, which is, so you're going to do 5 over 2 over 2, and you're going to square it. Okay, so 5 over 2 over 2, I would do that third grade style, and I would go 5 over 2 divided by 2, and then remember that it's still squared. So everything that's right here is still right here. Okay? But if you do it third grade style, then you kind of avoid making a careless mistake. So then you're going to do 5 over 2 times the reciprocal of that, which is 1/2 squared, which gives us what? 5 over 4 squared, which is what? It's just distributing. You have an invisible 1 up here on the power and a 1 right there. So it's going to be 5 squared over 4 squared. Do you see? So it's like a power to a power, power to a power. So it's going to 25 over 16. Okay. So I'm going to ask you a question. Wait. So what goes right here? What goes right there? Well, you're b over 2 squared, right? So you're 25 over 16. Okay. Now listen. Pay close attention. I'm going to ask you another question, and here's my prediction of what I'm about to say after you give me your answer. Unless you're brilliant. What goes right there? Wrong. You said the same thing. And I'm making a really big deal out of this because this took me a long time to figure out. You never put 25 over 16 there. Do you see 25 over 16 there? Right here? Do you see 25 over 16? I don't see 25 over 16. I see 100 over 16. See? There it is. It was never 25 over 16 to begin with. Yeah. So you have to actually put, that's actually what you're contributing to the left side of the problem is 100 over 16. Even though, what's that? What's that? Yeah. So you have 100 over 16. So this problem is hard for two reasons. That's one reason. The other reason is dealing with these fractions in there. Okay, so this is 100 over 16. All right. Now remember we talked about these guys here, even though they look scary, they're still the easiest problems to factor. All right, so it's still easy to factor, even though it's intimidating. So what you want to do is you take the square root of that number. What do you get? Square root of that right there. X. Then you take the square root of that one, which just means take the square root of that over the square root of that. So what's that going to be? 5 over 4. Then you're going to steal this sign. So what do you put here? Plus. And you factored it. Done. If you FOILed this open, you would actually get that. Okay? All right. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to have our calculators put this together for us. You don't have to. Or, see, I would just do 3 plus 100 over 16. Close. And I would go math, enter, enter. And that's 37 over 4. Actually, it's harder in your calculator, actually. 37, I think it can be done, actually. 37 over 4, so doing it the longer way, you're going to have 3 over 1 plus 100 over 16. Common denominators. So 16, 16. And you have equals, what's 16 times 3? 48. So you have 48 over 16 plus 100 over 16, which is 148 over 16. And they're both even, so you can at least chop them in half, right? 74 over 8, and they're still both even, so you can chop those in half, so you get 37 over 4. Okay, so, and I'll just bring all of this stuff down the lazy way, like that. Okay, so now we're left with 4 times x plus 5 over 4 squared equals 37 over 4. You with me? Okay, what's next move? To get x by itself. What's that? We can get rid of the 4 first. Yeah, divide by 4. Or a smarter way to do it would be to multiply both sides by 1/4. Okay, so then you would just, that would go away. And then you would end up with x plus 5 over 4 squared equals 37 over 16. Right? Now you square. So root, then what do? Yeah, plus or minus. Don't forget that. Plus or minus root. Then you get, then the root kills the square. So you're going to get x plus equals plus or minus. I'm going to split the root. You can do that. So you're going to go root 37 over root 16, or yeah, over 4. So like that. So then you're going to have x plus 5 over 4 equals plus or minus root 37 over 4. Then you're going to subtract 5 over 4. minus 5 over 4. So yeah, so x equals, and then that, the thing that you just moved over goes actually right there, right? So you're going to get negative 5 over 4 plus or minus root 37 over 4. And that's your answer. What's that? Yeah, you can write that as your answer, or you can punch them individually out in a calculator, but they're going to, so this is usually what the teachers want to see. Want to see that. And hold on one sec. Okay, yeah, that's right. Any questions on this? So, hardest thing to remember is when you pull this number out, or most important thing to remember is when you pull that out and you complete your square and you get this number, don't forget to multiply it right here to know which number you're throwing in over here. Got that? Cool. That's it. No problem. See you next week. Okay, bye.